This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. U.S. President Trump is suggesting the impeachment probe is why he did not tell top lawmakers before the Saturday raid on Islamic State leader Abu Bakr Al Baghdadi. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Meghani.
The president did give a heads up to Russia and other nations with forces in the region, but kept Congress's leaders in the dark.
I think Adam Schiff is the biggest leaker in Washington.
Schiff also chairs the House Intelligence Committee, which is playing a central role in the impeachment probe. Speaking to reporters, Schiff did not mention the operation, but did knock the White House for trying to keep another witness from testifying in the probe.
We go forward. Now armed with additional evidence of obstruction.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is planning a vote on Thursday to formalize the impeachment inquiry. AP correspondent Jackie Quinn.
Speaker Pelosi, in a letter to House members, says the vote's being taken to eliminate any doubt about the process, since the Trump administration is trying to block witnesses and withhold documents. The Constitution doesn't require a vote to begin impeachment, but President Trump says that's why he's not cooperating. The White House also says the evidence gathered so far is irreversibly illegitimate. Meanwhile, the Justice Department is appealing a judge's order that it produce for Congress secret grand jury testimony from special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Jackie Quinn, Washington.
Afghan officials say that Afghan and Pakistani forces engaged in cross-border clashes for a second day Monday. The latest violence came hours after Pakistani mortar and rocket fire killed 3 Afghan women in eastern Kunar province. That fighting first broke out Sunday afternoon when Afghan forces and local militiamen tried to stop Pakistani forces from allegedly establishing a military installation along the disputed border. This is VOA News. Firefighters in the state of California battled a new blaze Monday that broke out near the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. It is the latest in a series of fires that burns across the state. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti said the fire on the west side of Los Angeles has grown to 200 hectares since it ignited before dawn Monday and has burned down at least 5 homes. The area is where some of the city's most expensive homes are located, and the fire forced thousands there to evacuate. The European Union has agreed to a 3-month extension to Brexit. Reuters' David Doyle.
With just 3 days until the United Kingdom is due to leave the European Union, and the EU has agreed to delay Brexit for another 3 months. President of the EU Council, Donald Tusk, announced a flextension, or flexible extension, on Monday, which means Britain could leave earlier than January the 31st, 2020, if its fractious parliament ratifies a divorce deal. This third Brexit postponement also comes with conditions, including a refusal to renegotiate the withdrawal agreement and a green light for the EU's members to meet without Britain to discuss the bloc's future.
That is Reuters' David Doyle. Student protesters in Baghdad defied an overnight curfew on Monday. Iraqi authorities had ordered people to stay off the streets between midnight and 6 a.m. after another day of fierce anti-government demonstrations. At least 3 more people were killed and more than 100 hurt Monday in clashes between the marchers and the police, who responded with tear gas. Reuters' Matthew Lavertanda.
Iraq's military has reinstated a nightly curfew in that country until further notice, in an effort to stave off anti-government protests that returned over the weekend with renewed ferocity. The death toll for the month of October stands at about 230 or more. One man said this isn't a protest. It's a revolution. The protests had calmed for about 2 weeks. It began as cries against high unemployment and lack of progress in the country, but as the anger grew, so did its focus. Particular anger is given to politicians seen as pawns in the power play between the United States and Iran.
That is Reuters' Matthew Lavertanda reporting. Hundreds of thousands of Salvadoran nationals living in the United States for more than a decade will not have to return home for at least another year as the Trump administration extends their temporary protected status. And that's according to the U.S. ambassador to San Salvador on Monday, alongside the Central American country's president. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele hailed the accord, saying it will give his countrymen and the United States extra time to look for a permanent solution. He promised to keep working side by side with the United States to build a more prosperous El Salvador that's better for everyone. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.